Oh.
Byron says it. This is why Tennessee Williams is a great writer. Not a good writer, a great writer. On the level of Shakespeare. Because all you have to do is listen to those lines. From someone who doesn't know the novel. Or the character, or anything. And you who don't, just, it's a spell. You're saying that thing in the room, something happened. And all I asked her to do was read. Is that, I mean, really, really. When people say to me, what is it about Tennessee Williams? I say, it's hearing it out loud. And the effect that it has on people. Not a lot of Arthur Miller or even Eugene O'Neill does that. It's not the same thing. That's a spell. It's exactly what a witch does. No, really. It's the saying the words creates something in the room, which is real magic, because we see it happen and yet something happens. So, how to act it. It's very difficult to act beautiful pieces of writing because the beauty will undo you. So you have to, will undo you. So you have to have, in this case, because a story is being told, you kind of illustrate the emotions of the story, there has to be something that happens to you as you are telling the story. Okay. A little tip of how to make choices. Gertrude Stein, great writer, great writer, great writer, great writer, great writer. Gertrude Stein said, there's no such thing as repetition. There is only insistence. And so if something is repeated, it's not just repeated, it's because it's being insisted on. So what is being insisted on in this speech, the word that is repeated, is purity. So again, I'm going to give you the action, okay? You are telling the story in order to get over your own revulsion. You are saying, in telling the story, this is a disgusting thing. But in telling the story, I want to focus you listening and me remembering it on it was pure, ultimately. I got over the smell. That remembering the details is disgusting, and then you get past it. And being able to tell the story without being disgusted by what you're talking about. So there's a beginning between the beginning of the speech with its details and the end of its speech. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Start it.
When Shelley's corpse was recovered from the sea, it was burned on the beach at Fiedrio. I watched the spectacle from my carriage because the stench was so revolting. Then it fascinated me.
And even this disgusts you, that it fascinated you.
Then it fascinated me. I got out of my carriage, went nearer, holding a handkerchief to my nostril, and I saw that the front of the skull had broken away in the flames.
Ugh. It's disgusting.
And there was the brain of Shelley, indistinguishably from a cooking stew, boiling and bubbling and hissing, the blackening, cracked pot of his skull. Trelawney, his friend, threw salt and oil and frankincense in the flames, and finally the almost intolerable stench was gone, and the burning was pure, as a man's burning should be.
So
a man's
when
burning.
you say, so it changed through it's the repetition of his friend. And so his friend Trelawney then begins the transition into the change of the point of view, which is no longer that it was disgusting, but